the cameras flashed, the crowd froze. And just like that, well, Hollywood and, frankly, the entire world had a new obsession.
Oh, absolutely. It was everywhere.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
Right, from red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today we're doing a deep dive into a story that is, well, it's kind of the ultimate high society drama. Imagine planning a wedding where every single seating arrangement, every RSVP is literally a global news story.
Yeah, it's not just about, chicken or fish. It's intense.
Exactly. So we're looking at a huge stack of sources today to explore one burning headline, why Prince Harry was left off the guest list.
It's such a fascinating topic to unpack, really, because in this specific, ultra-elite echelon of society, a guest list is never just a piece of cardstock.
Right, it's a statement.
It is. It's a highly calibrated, real-time map of loyalties. And what we're really looking at here is a deeply personal family feud that's basically playing out through event planning.
Which is wild to think about.
Right. The people invited, and specifically the people excluded, they tell us a much larger story about how this ancient institution survives.
So our mission today, for you, the listener, is to trace this map. We're going to look closely at two major royal adjacent weddings.
Two very different situations, yeah.
Exactly. First, we'll examine the kind of delicate diplomatic tightrope of Hugh Grosvenor's wedding in 2024. And then we'll explore how that polite fiction turned into a definitive jaw-dropping snub at Peter Phillips' wedding in 2026.
Because, we aren't just here to talk about who gets to eat cake in the English countryside.
No, definitely not. We are breaking down power dynamics, behind-the-scenes PR, and how the Windsors are navigating a rift that is fundamentally altering their inner circle.
And to really understand the stakes for you listening, you have to recognize that these events are the primary battlegrounds. The presence or absence of the Duke of Sussex tells us exactly who holds the power right now. It's forcing extended family to make some incredibly difficult choices.
Well, let's jump right into the first major event on our timeline, which is the June 2024 wedding of Hugh Grosvenor, the Duke of Westminster.
Such a massive event.
Huge. And just as a quick refresher on the gravity this guy holds, he isn't just a wealthy aristocrat. He inherited his title and a £10.127 billion fortune.
Which is just a staggering amount of money.
Right. And he got that when he was only 25. So he's the richest man in the UK, under 40, owning like half of Mayfair and Belgravia. But his bank account isn't even the main point here.
No, it's his social currency. His royal connections are basically woven into the fabric of the modern monarchy.
Because he's King Charles's godson.
Exactly. But the crucial detail, the one that puts him right in the middle of this drama, is that he is the godfather to Prince William's son, George, and simultaneously the godfather to Prince Harry's son, Archie.
Wow. So he is literally the living embodiment of a bridge between the two camps.
He really was. Historically, he's been one of the very few people who managed to maintain a close, genuine relationship with both warring brothers.
The ultimate neutral party.
Right. So when he announced his wedding to Olivia Henson at Chester Cathedral, the international press immediately zeroed in on the invitations.
Because how do you handle the seating chart of the decade when you're tied to both the future king and the exiled duke?
And the scale of the wedding just added to the pressure. We're talking 400 elite guests, thousands of onlookers, and a reception at his 10,000-acre estate.
10,000 acres. Just incredible.
So Grosvenor did actually invite both William and Harry initially.
Okay, so they both got the invite.
Yes. But the outcome really spoke volumes. Williams attended and was actually given the very visible role of an usher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But Harry, well, he politely declined.
And the public framing of this was so careful, right? Like the sources described it as an understanding between two friends.
That's the exact phrase they used, yeah.
Reports said Harry and Hugh spoke privately, and Harry acknowledged the challenges his attendance would cause. So it was presented as this mutual decision so Harry wouldn't, overshadow the big day.
Which sounds nice on paper.
Right, but we need to look past that polite PR framing. The actual mechanics of why Harry couldn't just show up are super complicated, especially the security issues.
Yeah, the security issue is the tangible thing that made his attendance nearly impossible. Because Harry and Meghan stepped back as working royals in 2020, right?
Yeah, they lost their state-funded police protection.
Exactly. So if Harry attended a massive public event in the UK, he'd have to rely on private security. But private guards don't have jurisdiction there.
They can't just, like, clear the streets.
No, and they don't have access to local police intelligence or threat assessments.
So it isn't just about hiring a few burly guys in suits. If a threat emerges at Chester Cathedral, his private team can't coordinate with the snipers on the roof.
It would be a total nightmare.
And on top of that, Harry and Meghan had been evicted from Frogmore Cottage, so they didn't even have a secure residence to use as a home base.
The logistics alone just completely defeat the goal of not overshadowing the groom. So the diplomatic bow-out was really the only viable option.
He sent his love from California, and the narrative stayed clean. Though, I mean, the event wasn't exactly without unscripted drama.
Oh, definitely not.
And that's not even the wildest part of the day. We have to talk about the most surreal moment of that afternoon.
Hey, Chesters.
Yes. Just as Hugh and Olivia were leaving the cathedral, Olivia looking stunning, by the way, in this bespoke Emma Victoria Payne dress, two protesters from Just Stop Oil just unleashed chaos.
And they weren't like young activists.
No, they were 69 and 73 years old, and they sprayed this massive plume of bright orange powder from a fire extinguisher right into the air.
The visual contrast to that is just staggering. You have this ancient stone cathedral, the absolute pinnacle of British wealth, and suddenly it's engulfed in an industrial orange cloud.
It's kind of a perfect metaphor for the whole situation, isn't it?
It really is. The monarchy tries so desperately to maintain this highly controlled bubble, but the chaos of the outside world, whether it's protests or messy family grievances, always breaks through.
Seriously, looking at Hugh Grosvenor navigating all of this, I kind of see him as the ultimate child of divorce at a high school graduation.
Oh, that is such a good comparison.
Right. He clearly loves both sides, but he's terrified of putting them in the same room because the whole audience will be watching them instead of him.
Yeah, he knew exactly what would happen.
So my question is, does Harry's retreat in 2024 highlight how impossible it is to remain neutral? I mean, if a billionaire can't get them to share a cathedral, who can?
It reveals that neutrality is a luxury no one in that orbit can afford anymore. Grosvenor tried to play Switzerland, and even he couldn't make it work.
And William being an usher probably didn't help.
No, sources say that move left Harry feeling pre-marginalized. It shows that when forced, the institution will always lean toward the heir to the throne.
Always. Hey, if you're loving these Hollywood and high society twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead in this deep dive.
Absolutely. Because Grosvenor tried to play Switzerland and barely pulled it off. But 2 years later, we see what happens when the polite fiction is dropped entirely.
Yes, let's pivot to 2026. The definitive snub. Peter Phillips's wedding to NHS nurse Harriet Sperling.
To really understand the weight of this, we need to contextualize Peter Phillips. He's Princess Anne's son, the eldest grandson of Queen Elizabeth.
He's always been the protective older cousin.
Exactly. He's been a confidant, a sounding board, and crucially, a physical buffer.
He was the literal peacemaker. Think back to Prince Philip's funeral in 2021. The tension was palpable.
Oh, you could cut it with a knife.
And as they walked behind the coffin, Peter was deliberately positioned between William and Harry. He was the designated neutral zone.
That visual is so vital. He was the bridge. So when he scheduled his wedding for June 2026, the guest list was heavily scrutinized.
Naturally. It was going to be the core inner circle: King Charles, Queen Camilla, William, Kate.
But the shocking headline: Prince Harry was completely left off the guest list.
Not just asked to decline politely.
No, he wasn't invited at all. He was iced out. Royal commentator Emily Nash described it as a natural cooling off because they hadn't spoken in years.
Okay, I have to push back on that phrase. Natural cooling off.
Yeah, it sounds a bit too clean, doesn't it?
Totally. In a normal family, sure, you drift apart. But in a family obsessed with optics, leaving the king's son off the list is never just natural.
You're right to reject that. From a PR perspective, packaging a brutal snub as a natural cooling off is just Palace Damage Control 101.
Right, it's a calculated statement.
Behind closed doors, it's a deliberate exclusion. Since that 2021 funeral, the landscape has been scorched. We had Harry's memoir, Spare, and the Netflix docuseries.
Both of which aimed direct criticism at William and Kate.
Exactly. So Peter Phillips, seeing the institutional damage and the toll on William, he clearly made a choice.
And the sources confirmed this shift in the most brutal terms. One royal insider said, and I quote, "Nobody sat around debating this. William is the heir. William is the priority. Every single time."
That is just staggeringly cold calculus.
It really strips away any illusion of a family spat. It's institutional survival.
Another source added, One brother is the future of the institution, the other walked away from it. The sentimentality is just
Gone.
completely gone. The calculation wasn't about family unity, it was entirely about keeping the Prince of Wales comfortable.
Which brings us to a really fascinating evolution in the story. And later in the episode, we'll talk about the shocking twist nobody saw coming regarding the royal jewelry.
Oh yes, so the tiara drama.
Because we aren't just seeing William being protected, we're seeing him actively wield unprecedented power.
So much power.
Let's get into it. Imagine Harriet Spurling marrying into the inner circle, expecting to borrow some royal jewelry for her big day.
Which is standard protocol for a royal bride.
Right. She goes to request it, expecting a routine yes, but she hits a massive roadblock.
According to reports, Queen Camilla's office actually blocked Harriet from accessing jewelry from the royal vault.
So wait, the Queen Consort's office actually said no? Like access denied?
Yeah, exactly. They blocked her.
Which is wild because usually whatever the Queen Consort says, I mean, that is the final word.
Right. It's a total shutdown normally. But then Prince William stepped in.
Oh, wow. So what did he do? Just ask nicely.
Well, no. According to the reports, William authorized a total administrative lockdown of the vaults, specifically to override Queen Camilla.
A total administrative lockdown.
Yes, to ensure Harriet got her tiara.
He essentially pulled rank on the Queen Consort to take care of his loyal cousin's bride. That is a massive flex.
It shows William isn't just waiting to inherit the castle, he's actively changing the locks.
Yeah, he is.
By weaponizing access to royal perks, he's creating this hard currency of loyalty. He's showing the family that he controls the privileges now.
Protect him, and he protects you.
Exactly. Peter excluded Harry, and William rewarded that loyalty by steamrolling Camilla's office for the tiara.
It really paints a stark picture of where the brothers are at emotionally right now.
Very different spaces.
On one side, you have Harry. He gave this BBC interview in May 2025 where he sounded almost wistful. He explicitly said he'd love reconciliation, saying, "Life is precious."
It's a very human sentiment. And Omid Scobie noted there's been some back-channel effort between Harry and King Charles.
Because the king wants peace.
Yeah, as a father, he does. But William is on a completely different psychological plane. Sources say he's in a much healthier space now because he simply doesn't think about Harry anymore.
Just totally detached.
A friend told The Times that the drama used to take up a huge amount of space in his head, causing constant stress. But now, he's compartmentalized it.
Scobie even said the ball was in William's court, and William essentially just walked off the court.
Compartmentalization is a survival mechanism for leaders. He's categorized his brother as a closed chapter.
He's focused on the crown, his wife's health, his kids.
Exactly. He's not interested in a photo op with Harry because it distracts from the stability of the institution.
Which leads me to a huge question about the big picture. If you're finding this analysis as wild as we are, stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
Because the implications here are massive.
Right. Looking at how William operates, his presence dictates guest lists, neutral cousins pledge absolute loyalty to him, he overrides the Queen Consort. Is Prince William effectively already acting as the real boss of the monarchy?
It certainly appears that the operational power has shifted heavily toward him.
I mean, Charles is still king.
Charles holds the constitutional authority, sure. But William is acting as the enforcer. He's setting the boundaries.
And showing that loyalty to the crown means loyalty to him.
Exactly. If you're in his camp, you get prime seating and a tiara. Cross him, or even try to stay neutral like Grosvenor did, and you're on the outside looking in.
It's pure political strategy disguised as wedding etiquette. So let's sort of summarize what we've unpacked today.
It's been quite a journey, from 2024 to 2026.
Definitely. We started with Hugh Grosvenor's wedding, where Harry's absence was framed as this polite mutual agreement.
Wrapped up in PR about security and not overshadowing the groom.
Right. But by Peter Phillips's wedding in 2026, the polite fiction was just gone. Harry was deliberately snubbed.
That progression shows that a royal wedding invite really is a geopolitical map. The peacemakers of the past have firmly chosen William's side.
The drawbridge is raised, and William is standing guard. It's tragic, honestly, seeing a family live its darkest moments in public.
It really is.
But I want to leave you, the listener, with a final provocative thought. We've spent all this time analyzing the adults. William, Harry, the cousins.
They've definitely drawn their lines in the sand.
But what about the next generation?
Oh, the children. They're the ultimate unseen stakeholders here.
Exactly. If the older generation has officially accepted this permanent fracture, what does that mean for Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis?
And their cousins in California, Archie and Lilibet.
Right. Will these kids inherit this estrangement as some bitter family heirloom? Or will the burden of reconciliation eventually fall to them?
The kids who were literally toddlers when this rift began. It's a heavy question. Generational rifts can last for decades, shaping the court long after the instigators are gone.
Will they bridge the ocean or remain strangers? That is definitely going to shape the next half century of royal history.
Something to keep in mind next time you see a staged royal family photo for sure. Notice who isn't in it.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.